looking to go racing from virtual Michigan Raceway. It's round number 10 of the di9 Designs Xfinity Series. 110 laps of action. Hunter Peach on the front row with Josh Arnold, the number 26. Red Bull Toyota to the inside of the number 22 Box Cave Ford. They're going to lead us to the line to kick off another round of action. I'm Rick James, and you're going to watch uninterrupted green flag racing from the 2-mile speedway in the rolling hills of Michigan. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. At the line, Hunter Peach leading lap number 1 in that 26. Behind him, it's Braden Holt in that number 72, Valvoline Chevrolet. And then third in line is J-Pod, Josh Arnold in the number 22 Box Cave entry. Out of the fourth corner, you have the second of two Red Bull entries, the number 17 of Zach Meredith. Inside of points leader Jordan Bain in car 28. Bain comes into this race right now, sliding back through the running order, sitting in the 7th position. You saw the point standings coming into tonight. Jordan Bain with 365 points to Matt Boone's 324, a difference of 41 markers headed into round number 10. In the number 38 Twisted T car, just passing Jordan Bain on the inside. There is second place in points. Matt Boone right now sitting behind the 2-4 Cole Snyder in the number 24. In the number 24 M&M Chevrolet, the number 23 Exalta Chevrolet. Jose Ruiz behind him. I may mix up for the 24. No prizes for guessing who that paint scheme belongs to. Matt Boone to the inside, however, of that flaming number 23, coming out of turn number 4, running 3 and almost 4 wide at the back of this pack, almost treating it like a plate race. Look to that number 14, that candy stripe number 14, Nate Lehman, rocking the Care Bears paint scheme on that Ford Mustang to the inside of car 23. Jose Ruiz trying to hold his line on the outside, 2x2 all the way down the back straight, and at the front we've had a lead change. Braden Holt in the number 72 jumps to the outside ever so briefly, but it's a train of bulls on the inside now. You've got the 2-6 of Hunter Peach leading the 17 of Zach Meredith now to his inside. 3 wide for the lead down the front straight at Michigan. Chevrolets all fighting for that top spot, and then Matt Boone in that number 38 Twisted T Chevy to the inside. That sunshine colored Camaro sitting fourth in the running order, looking to get some space on the outside of Zach Meredith in car 1-7. All these cars still bunched up, everyone trying to find some piece, some semblance. Look at the draft now. The 38 of Matt Boone sliding back through that running order. The cars funnel down into the third corner. High on the outside in the 99, Corey Blevins now on the outside of Josh Franks. Franks moves to the inside, trying to get somewhere on Nate Lehman's left-hand quarter panel and can't pull off the move. 5 laps complete at Michigan. We apologize for the temporarily incorrect track facts. We know that it's a 2-mile oval at Michigan, not like last week's race at Richmond in the 3/4 mile oval, but everything else remains true. 110 miles, 220 laps will be the scheduled distance at Michigan. Alpha York 123 hosting, XRN Network cheering 66 and 6 bits for Jim Coey and himself. Further down the line, Jose 720 following. NNR Bowling subscribing for 6 months. How about that? Kudos. And there he is at the front. Look at the amazing gap that Matt Boone has opened over the rest of his competitors. Clearly, the Wisconsin driver means business. Eight laps into this race, Matt Boone now has an 0.8 of a second lead. Alpha York 23 says, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Mike, thank you so much, buddy. Always one of my biggest supporters. Into that third corner, Matt Boone on top of Zach Meredith, and then Hunter Peach sitting in third. Chevy, Toyota, your top three. Now looking at the back, you've got Josh Franks on that high side. He's got Shad Swatsworth to his inside. The number 1 Valvoline Chevy about to be overrun on the outside. You've got Franks with help from Nate Lehman in the Care Bears Mustang. Now by himself, looking to go to the inside. He's going to draw the ire of Matt Cochran in the number 77. One Mine for Design. Toyota Supra now squeezing on the outside of the 22. Josh Arnold just barely making it into the lane. Into the third corner, Josh Arnold sits on the back end of the top 10 with Cole Snyder sitting 11th in the number 24. Josh Arnold still on the outside line. Will it go 3 wide? It doesn't. The 2-4 of Cole Snyder thinks better of it and keeps his line on the inside. Car's getting a bit dicey. There's a gap at the front. Did something happen with Lehman in that 14 car? With the 6, the 99, maybe somebody. If we can get a good angle on that 14, we can see he's been pancaked on the right-hand side. Corey Blevins looks okay. No damage to speak of on the 14 or the 6. Maybe everybody just checking up, trying to avoid an accident. 10 laps now complete at the Michigan Speedway. Matt Boone leads by 1 second over Zach Meredith. Shad Swatsworth now in third. Hunter Peach, your pole sitter in the number 26 Red Bull Supra, sitting in the 4th position. Josh Franks draws closer into the 5th spot now, but Corey Blevins overtakes him on the inside line. Franks still up 13 places from where he started. Let's ride on board the number 6 and see how he manages his falling lap times. Franks currently holding on to the 7th position, up 12 places from where he started this event. Then you've got Josh Arnold in car 22. He's holding down the top 10. Big Papa Bear says, great job, Rick. Thank you, Papa Bear. Appreciate you and everything you do as well, my friend. Say and send. Send my love to your family. Eyes on the 24 car now. Cole Snyder falling through the field. Here comes points leader Jordan Bain to the inside. The B-Water Ford has carried the driver of this 28 car to so many victories. Bain comes into this race with 4 wins and a 41-point lead ahead of Matt Boone. Josh Arnold sits in third. There's only 11 points between race leader Matt Boone and Josh Arnold, currently in 9th. But now Zach Meredith overtaking car 38. He brings the number 17 Red Bull Camaro just ahead of that Twisted T Chevy. 17:38 won your top 3, all bow ties. Zach Meredith, your new leader in Brooklyn. just off US 127 in the so-called Irish Hills of Michigan. Beautiful green rolling hills. Not too far from the state capital, about 90 minutes-ish from Detroit and the Canadian border. It is a wonderful place to see racing. Beautiful camping abounds, and right now Zach Meredith has the clearest view of the track. Let's ride along with the leader for a lap around the 2-mile Michigan Speedway. You see the hands just always moving on this racetrack, even on the back straight. Drivers having to move those hands about, make sure that the car's always pointing in the right direction. Matt Boone in the second position has Hunter Peach behind him. He's looking to make it a Red Bull 1-2, joining Zach Meredith on the top 2 spots. 38-26-1. Matt Boone, Hunter Peach, Shad Swatsworth sitting second, third, and fourth. There you see on the right-hand side the battle for first. Zach Meredith leading. He's up 5 spots from where he started this race. Matt Boone, so far our biggest mover, up 13 places from where he started, although a half second back to the race leader. And as it goes on, the right-hand side is the gap to the race leader. 5th place, Corey Blevins, a second and a 5th away from the top spot. Hunter Peach now moving to the inside. He wants second place from Matt Boone, and it is a Red Bull 1-2 as they run. 17 laps completed at the Michigan Speedway. If you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag action of the di9 Desgins. Turned down for what Xfinity series. This is round number 10 of 15. There are the standings coming into this race. You see big gaps at the top, but it's still far from over with 6 races remaining. Last week, the gap shrunk. 41 points is the gap from Jordan Bain to Matt Boone. Josh Arnold only has a 3-point gap back to Hunter Peach. Looking at Josh Arnold now, currently sitting in the 7th position. Hunter Peach sitting second right now in that number 26. If the race were to end now, Hunter Peach would most certainly gap Josh Arnold for that bronze medal headed into the 11th round. And next week is Dover, right here on Rick James TV1. Braden Holt sitting in the 8th position despite starting high up in this race. He's lost 5 spots from where he started. Same with Jordan Bain. He started 4th. The points leader right now sitting in the 9th position. Matt Boone, who's sitting second in the points right now, running 3rd. And that gap would shrink ever closer coming into the last 5 races at Dover. Zach Meredith still leading in that number 17. Hunter Peach in the 2nd position, and Matt Boone 3rd as they run. Josh Franks to the inside of Cole Snyder. Almost some contact headed into that 3rd corner. Luckily, the drivers survived, but they're still not out of it yet. Drivers have accordion with that close action. Now looking at Cole Snyder in that 24 being overtaken by Enrique Quiñones in the number 12, the number 9 Box Cave Chevy. He's in 12th right now, working on 11th with Josh Franks. Further back, you've got Jeff Lednam, Byron Jones in the number 55 Rusty's Ford. And look at Cole Snyder darting to the inside. Is something wrong with the 24? He's been just sliding back through the field. Jeff Lednam, sitting in the 15th position, now wants to take advantage of the spot. The Pennsylvania native trying to gain his bearings, gain some semblance of traction and a clean lap. The 55 of Byron Jones starting to get closer. That Rust-eze Ford looking to crack into the top 10, but he's got to get around Cole Snyder first. Further back through this field, Jeff Lednam, look at that, the number 1 car of Shad Swatsworth, all the way down to the inside. What happened to that Valvoline Winn-Dixie Chevrolet? Let's see if we can get an answer and see what happened here. Look at that contact with the 99. How about that? Let's ride along with Shad Swatsworth and see how he held on to that one. You see the hands turning left, just trying to save that race car. Heads up move by Swatsworth to keep the car pointed in the right direction. 23 laps into this race. Swatsworth sits 9th. At the front, Zach Meredith still leads with his Red Bull counterpart, Hunter Peach, behind him in that 2-6. Peach looks to take the top spot back. He hasn't led since he dropped back to about 5th place. Nate Lehman sits in 4th right now, looking to get one more spot, trying to crack the top 3. He'll have Corey Blevins headed into turn 1. But can he make it stick? Out of that second corner, will he get help from Matt Boone in that 38? Out of the second corner now. All 23 1/2 laps have been run caution-free thus far. Nate Lehman still sits in the 4th position. Now behind him, Josh Arnold telling him to get a move on because J-Paw wants a crack at the top 5. And behind them all, it's starting to get a bit dicey. Josh Franks only a 1/4 of a second ahead of Cole Snyder behind him. Cars starting to file 2 by 2. And in that 27 car, Sam Wade has the best view of it all. One wrong move and Wade could gain as much as 7 spots. Cars starting to drift left and right. In the number 35, Blue Moon Ford, Brian Tiffany tries to gain some places. He sits 17th right now. Headed into this race, Brian Tiffany is 23rd in points, but he only finds himself 30 markers outside of the top 20. That number 27 Volunteers Ford behind him is his closest rival, Sam Wade. Wade running in the 18th spot, wanting to gain some spots, but he's got to get through all this. He's going to need a drafting partner. Speaking of drafting partners, Zach Meredith can't rely on Hunter Peach to draft all the way through this race to the end. He's going to have to learn and move around the racetrack. That 26 car has slowly been following him, studying his every move. The way the 17 breaks down to the low side, the 26 goes with him, snaking down that front straight. 26 laps complete at Michigan. The drivers should be able to go about 40 to 50 laps on fuel, but we'll see if the tires decide to last that long. Position change for 15th, back to this pack we were looking at earlier. Cole Snyder bouncing off that yellow line, drifting up the racetrack. Will he hold up the 2-7 of Sam Wade? He will. Wade moves to the inside, now looking to get a piece of Cole Snyder. That is for the 16th position. Sam Wade getting into the top 16 now, and he's going to bring Brian Tiffany with him. Tiff to the inside of the 2-4. Cole Snyder, will he have a run out of 4? Snyder now drafting off the 2-7 down the front straight. These drivers racing for the 16th position. Sam Wade, half a second behind Jeff No in the 60 car. He's following Jose Ruiz, who's trying to get a draft off of car 5-5. Byron Jones running in the lucky number 13th position behind Josh Franks, aka Expert Racing. Back to Wade. with that 24 behind him to the inside line. Here comes Cole Snyder looking for a better spot to the inside. Will he have a draft partner from the 35 of Brian Tiffany? Possibly out of turn number 4. Tiffany looking to gain some air, clean air that is, to the inside. And now drivers coming down pit road. Matt Boone in the 38, one of our leaders. Chad Swatsworth, Jeff No, all deciding to come down pit road, get tires and fuel, and 29 is the magic number. That's going to give Hunter Peach the lead in the 26 car. He wrestled it from Zach Meredith while everybody else was coming down pit road. Will Peach come down pit road? How long will he keep that Red Bull Toyota out? Let's see how we got the lead from Meredith in the first place. Looks like a textbook pass into turn number 3, just drafting right before the start of pit stop cycles, and a clever move because these are going to need to be your fastest laps. The 17 of Zach Meredith decides to bring his Red Bull Chevrolet down pit road, 30 laps into this one. Hunter Peach leading now by 1.5 seconds over Corey Blevins in the second position. There you see Jordan Bain in third, now to the inside of Nate Lehman, the points leader, now on the clock. When will the B-Water Ford decide to come down pit road, get those precious tires? We know Bain is known for smart pit stop strategy. Perhaps he's stretching the fuel as far as he possibly can. Which must be the case because Hunter Peach now decides to give up the lead, and Jordan Bain now inherits the lead. On the bottom, there you see all the drivers currently down pit road. We'll switch tickers in the middle of our pit stop cycle. Obviously, drivers down pit road denoted by their 3-letter last name abbreviation. Jordan Bain on the point now, but Bain looks like he's going to relinquish that and come down pit road. Bama Trama makes it into the chat. Mama Vols, how are you, my dear? Glad to have you here. Send my love to the entire Vols family, especially Terry. Jordan Bain now joined by the 14 of Nate Lehman down pit road. Matt Cochran also decides to come down pit road as well. So the top 3 come down pit road. There's Zach Meredith in the 1-7 car. Those 3 cars are going to end our pit stop cycles. 32 laps underway of the scheduled 110. Zach Meredith on the front straight now. Will he beat these cars out of pit road? Jordan Bain now exiting pit road. Zach Meredith on the outside. There goes the 17, and Zach Meredith re-inherits the lead. Chad Swatsworth leaving pit road now. There you see his pit stop time. And the one of Swatsworth sitting in the 23rd position now will come down pit road. He will end our pit stop cycles. And that completes cycle number 1 in this race. The running order now, Zach Meredith at the front in car 17. Corey Blevins sitting in the second position in car 99. Blevins pit stop time 15.13 seconds. Braden Holt now goes purple for the race with a 39.36. That is the quickest lap any driver has had thus far. There on the left-hand side, Braden Holt with that 39.36. Expect to see some drivers turn in some faster laps now. The gap at the front of this race, almost 2 seconds. Zach Meredith leading Corey Blevins. Blevins with an average pit stop time right around that 15-second mark. Looks like a few of the quickest were Josh Arnold, J-Paw with a 14.62, currently running in the 3rd position in the number 22 Box Cave Ford. Slightly ahead of J-Paw with a 14.48 was Enrique Quiñones. Q-Dog in that Box Cave Chevrolet running in the 12th spot right now. Braden Holt just went purple again, 39.92 in that number 72 Valvoline Chevrolet. Holt running 7th right now, but is he torturing these tires running back-to-back purple laps. He's got the 38 of Matthew Boone to his inside. Boone holding down the 7th position, and now behind points leader Jordan Bain. Jordan Bain sitting 6th in this race right now. Duct Tape Fan 06 in the chat says, let's go number 19. Go Team CDR. Cheering for Jake Millsap. Millsap currently running in the 21st position. We'll turn the split on so we can see where cars are beyond the 20th spot. Millsap, one of the few cars remaining. Well, I say few cars remaining on the lead lap. One of the laster cars towards the back of the lead lap. You know what I'm trying to say. Millsap currently running in the 21st position. Brian Tiffany, the car ahead. Tiffany has about a 40-second gap to Millsap. Or 4-second gap, excuse me. There's Millsap in that 19. Interesting Millsap graphics paint scheme he's got on there. Loving the Napa theme that he's carrying there. Always comes with something interesting every single week. Zach Meredith still at the front. He's up 5 places from where he started, but his 2-second gap has now been crushed to 0.8. Corey Blevins sits in 2nd right now. Coming into this race, Blevins looking to move further up in the running order. Corey sitting 35th in the point standings right now, but no matter. Blevins has bonus points in this race. Again, running a part-time season. He's here for the wins. How far can Corey go? He's now within a half second of Zach Meredith, and that 17 car better run because here comes car 99. Let's ride with Corey Blevins as he attacks for the lead. Closer fight for the 4th position. Hunter Peach ahead of Josh Arnold by less than 1/10. And of course, Braden Holt in tow in the 72. Everybody chasing down 3rd place and points leader Jordan Bain in that 2-8 car. 26 to the outside, drafting now with the points leader. Further on back, Cole Snyder to the inside of Stan Carnathan. That for the 13th position. And then Sam Wade in the Rocky Top 27, moving up to the 12th position. Sam's up 6 places from where he started. Grandpa Coey in the number 66, Rico Chevrolet chasing down the 36 of Jeff Lednum. This battle for the 17th position. Cole Snyder to the inside. Carnathan gets way too high. And Uncle Stan on the outside of 4, now 3 wide for the 14th position. Well, almost. I thought the 6 of Franks was going to take it to the inside, but sanity prevails, and Josh Franks lets up a little bit. He's going to let the 77 of Matt Cochran fight for the 14th spot. The number 60 car now leaving pit road once more. That's Jeff No, running a couple of laps down in the 23rd position. Jeff still fighting, though, bringing that fighting spirit. 1 lap down, I stand corrected. At the front, Corey Blevins has finally caught up with the leader. Will he choose this moment to move to the inside? Zach Meredith holding on for dear life. Blevins wants a piece of that lead, but is Meredith just saving tires, saving fuel, bringing that 2-second gap down to virtually nothing? To the 3rd corner, Corey Blevins looks for clean air to the inside, but he can't bring that 99 closer to the front. The Keys Architects and Associates Ford Mustang within a shout of the lead. Again, drivers coming down on lap 29:30 right around there. So it looks like the tires will go about 30 laps. Drivers have fewer than 20 laps remaining before they need to come in for fresh rubber once again. Blevins can't get around the leader. Braden Holt, however, a bit closer to Josh Arnold, while Jordan Bain and Hunter Peach have separated just a bit. Half a second sits between third and fourth. Matt Boone trying to crack the top 5 once again. He's only half a second away from Braden Holt. Here goes Corey Blevins to the outside of Zach Meredith. He's got a great run and he's using momentum. 17 leads lap 42 at Michigan, and he'll hang on to the lead into 1. Will Blevins send it? No, he stays conservative into the first corner. Maybe he'll wait until the few remaining laps of the race to be a bit more aggressive. Out of that second corner now, Corey Blevins within a good draft to the inside. Can he make this one stick into the third corner? Blevins edging Meredith, but will Meredith have the momentum out of 4? For now, Blevins clears the 17, and he is the new leader at Michigan. Blevins, Meredith, Bain, your top 3. Jordan Bain almost 3 seconds removed from this top 2 fight. Bain has Hunter Peach within 0.4 of a second behind him. Josh Arnold sitting in the 5th position now in that number 22 car, just ahead of Braden Holt. Matt Boone up to 7th, 1 second away from them. Then you've got Nate Lehman in that number 14 Care Bear Ford. Lehman sitting 5 1/3 seconds ahead of Byron Jones in the 9th position. But kudos to Jones, he's brought that number 55 Rusty's Ford Mustang up 13 places. He sits 9th right now ahead of the tail end of the top 10, Q-Dog Enrique Quinones in the number 9 Box Cave Chevrolet. 45 of the 110 laps underway at Michigan. Cole Snyder in that 24, pegged to the back end of Sam Wade. Let's ride along with that C&R M&M styled number 24 car. .45 laps complete, getting closer to the halfway mark. Corey Blevins leading Zach Meredith by 1/3 of a second. Braden Holt still tagging the back end of Josh Arnold through this front straight. Less than 1/10 remains between them. Braden Holt with a little bit of bump drafting down this front straight. Then you've got Nate Lehman on the outside of Matt Boone. This for the 7th spot. Boone finally caught up to Lehman. Further on back, Brian Tiffany in the 35 car. He's been on the back end of Jeff Lednam all race long. Tiffany probably saving his stuff for the very end. We're about 13 laps away from the second cycle of pit stops. We've gone caution-free so far. Corey Blevins sits ahead of Zach Meredith 1-2. Jordan Bain sits in 3rd, but now 2.1 seconds behind the top 2. Bain is creeping up closer. Cue the Jaws music 48 laps into this race. Hunter Peach in the number 26 Red Bull Toyota sits 1 second ahead of 5th place, Josh Arnold. Got to give a shout out to the folks at di9 Designs bringing us the points and the race facts today. The Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at di9 Designs posts graphics on all platforms multiple times a week, on top of taking requests on all types of logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, iRacing schemes, and more. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Be sure to use code di9 Designs for free shipping on all your diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBSales.com. Cindy Thompson in the chat says, "Go Josh, number 22, cheering for J. Paul Arnold in the number 22 Box Cave Ford. He sits 2/10 ahead of Braden Holt. Further on back, Cole Snyder urging the 27 of Sam Wade to keep it pushing. Wade to the inside of Jose Ruiz. This the move for 11th. Ruiz gives up the speed on the outside. Here comes Wade with a big push from car 24, and these two will get to the inside of the Exalta Chevrolet of Ruiz. That's going to put Sam Wade and Cole Snyder 11th and 12th, respectively. Enrique Quiñones guards the top 10, 1 second further up. Back to J. Paul Arnold riding in the Box Cave Ford. Let's see the battle between him and Braden Holt just a bit closer. Incredible racing into that first corner, moving at wonderful speeds. Corey Blevins just ahead of Zach Meredith. These cars overtaking and putting a car a lap down that looks like the 5 of Mike Allen. It indeed is the 5 of Mike Allen. Running one of the loudest and most vibrant paint schemes I've ever seen. Looks like he's got like a dog on the quarter panel. And I'm here for it. I love it. I'm all for the loud, super vibrant, like bright yellow, day glow orange paint schemes. I love that stuff. Credit to Mike. I think last week he was running an Iron Man paint scheme or something like that. He always brings the creativity, and you've got to love him for it. Slowly approaching the halfway mark in tonight's race, Stan Carnathan side by side with the 6 of Joshua Franks. This the battle for 15th. Further on back, Grandpa Coey moving to the inside of Jake Millsap. These two fighting for the 19th position. A little bit of action all over the racetrack. Josh Arnold and Braden Holt still battling, as are the 99 of Corey Blevins and Zach Meredith. But Blevins, since he got around Meredith, has not had to fight for that lead since. Is Meredith using Blevins for the draft, using him for a tow? Further on back, you've got Jordan Bain, who's now within 1.3 seconds of the top 2. Remember when I said cue the Jaws music, because Bain is getting closer, and now battle for the lead. Zach Meredith to the inside of Corey Blevins with the textbook move to the inside. Car 17. Oh boy. Oh, no. Oh, you are kidding. Oh, man. I think we've just lost the race. Or at least I potentially have just lost the race. Fans, hang on just 1 second. We'll be back in a moment here. There we go. How about that? Back to some racing pictures. Zach Meredith leading Corey Blevins by a half second. Then you've got Jordan Bain in that third position. Bain up to 1 second behind Corey Blevins now in the number 99 Ford. Meredith leading this race. Pit stop cycles have started once again with Braden Holt sitting in the 6th position. Josh Arnold running 7th. NNR Bowling says massive server boot. That's Matt Boone, who's now sitting in 19th. Out of this race, Yotes King says, I'm so mad my computer just quit on me. These are multiple drivers that are just being scored out of this race. Drivers chiming in, multiple drivers 1 lap down, 2 laps down, a massive server boot. I've never seen anything like this. Corey Blevins leads this race by 8/10 ahead of points leader Jordan Bain. Incredibly fortunate that Jordan Bain did not get kicked. Q-Dogs. Enrique Quinones says, a lot of us got booted. AZ Yotes King says, wow. You've got to love iRacing, and you've got to think what's going to happen to the points table now. Matt Boone, second in points, getting booted from the race. We'll see if he picks back up again. A lot of drivers being scored out will pick up the running order as they run. Many drivers in pit road right now. You're looking at points headed into this 10th round. NNR Bowling says, I'm going to drop like a rock. Drivers wondering where they're going to end up as they try to get back in their rigs, get everything started once again. 61 laps underway of the scheduled 110. Yotes King says, Boone feels so bad for you, mate. The 23 of Jose Ruiz sitting in 4th decides to come down pit road. We'll show you drivers currently running down pit road, and we'll show you, let's see here. On the right-hand side, you see pit stop strategy drivers in pit lane. On the bottom of your screen, you'll see drivers currently in pit road denoted by their 3-letter abbreviation. Right now, Jordan Bain being scored as the race leader after that massive server reboot. 62 laps now underway in the Irish Hills. Nate Lehman in second brings the Care Bears Mustang down pit road. There's Zach Meredith in the 17, identical to the first stint. Meredith will recollect this lead just as he did 30 or so laps ago. Yotes King in the chat says, had a good run rolling to P22. P22 from P8, I think he means. A lot of drivers just shunted by this massive server boot happening approximately lap 56, 57. Just a few minutes ago, fans, we sincerely apologize for that break in action. And it looks like pit stop cycles have been completed. So Zach Meredith regains the lead. He's your new leader. Corey Blevins sits in the 2nd position, and you've got Hunter Peach rolling in spot number 3. The number 26 Red Bull Toyota sits behind the 99 Ford Mustang, and the 17 Chevrolet leads this race. Braden Holt in the 4th position, holding down the number 72 Valvoline Chevy. In a good spot, points leader Jordan Bain 7/10 behind him and starting to get up closer. Josh Arnold sitting 3 seconds behind. The 77 and the 19 behind him are that of Matt Cochran in 19th, and the 19th car is Jake Millsap running in 15th. Let's go through this running order and see where these drivers sit. Look at that. The number 1 of Shad Swatsworth, currently running in the 18th position, a couple of laps down. Then you've got Matt Cochran in that 17. We just got to look at him 4 laps down. Sam Wade, who was fighting for a spot in the top 10, now running 20th, 4 laps down. Matt Boone in the 22nd position, out. Byron Jones in the number 55 Rust Ease Ford, out. Enrique Quinones out of this race. So many good drivers just sacrificed by this mid-race server boot. Unbelievable stuff. The first that I've ever seen, and it's going to have a massive effect on these point standings. Jordan Bain keeps on chugging along to the inside of Braden Holt. That's for the 4th position. 35 laps to go next time by, I think, if my math is right, which it never is. Josh Franks to the inside of Stan Carnathan. This is the move for 11th. Franks has cleared Carnathan out of turn number 4. Will almost, though, almost. He just can't pull off the move. There's some contact from Carnathan in the 33. Franks looking to hold on to that race car, comes back onto the racing surface. And how about that for a save? Let's get a look on the inside of Josh Franks and see how that move didn't turn into an accident. Heads-up play by Josh Franks in car number 6. Expert racing is what they call him, and you better believe it now with those sweet hands. Jordan Bain, during that replay, went purple, 39.84, and car 28 sits 1.3 seconds away from Corey Blevins in the 2nd position. He is the fastest driver this race so far. 67 laps underway. Chevy, Ford, your top 3. Hunter Peach runs in 4th in his Red Bull Toyota. Cole Snyder now behind Jose Ruiz, running 10th and 9th respectively. Repeat hosting the stream just a minute ago, and Yotes King also hosting. 2 great friends in this community. Love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting the stream. Zach Meredith continues to lead in his Red Bull Chevy, only by a half second. And remember, before the pit stop cycle, when I said cue the Jaws music, well, here comes Jordan Bain just a bit closer. Shark emojis in the chat because that 28 is starting to swim closer to the lead. We'll check back on the points leader in a moment. Cole Snyder behind the 23 of Jose Ruiz. This the battle for 8th. Stan Carnathan just ahead of Josh Franks. Will there be contact this time? These two trying to get their bump drafting under control. Franks in that 6 car right up the tailpipes of car 33. Will it end in disaster? Franks looking to take 10th away from Carnathan. Carnathan's into the wall out of the 2nd corner. Stan Carnathan bit off a little more than he can chew, and Lime Green Icarus, flying a bit too close to that Michigan sun, has his wings burned on the outside of turn number 2. Stan Carnathan definitely has to have more than a scrape on the outside of that 33 car. Let's have a look. Ooh, yeah. Chrome rims won't save you now, Stan. Nurse her home. Fight for the lead once again. Corey Blevins invades the rearview mirror of Zach Meredith in car 17. The number 99 Ford F-150, bringing Keys Associates along with him. Edges Zach Meredith in the 1st corner. Jordan Bain watches with bated breath, hoping for an avenue to that lead. Both of these cars side by side down the back straight, fighting for 1st. The 99 of Blevins clears Zach Meredith, and Corey Blevins is your new leader at Michigan with, is it 30 now, I think? Because I'm so horrible at math. 30 laps now to go. Nope, 40. Now it's 40. No idea what I'm thinking. 40 laps remain at Michigan. Surprisingly caution-free so far. A couple of incidents that might have scared some people, but nobody going around yet. Blevins, Meredith, Bain leading. 2 Fords and a Chevy fighting it out for the top spot. Points leader Jordan Bain to the inside of Zach Meredith, and now Corey Blevins in his crosshair through the 3rd corner and coming out of turn number 4. Almost contact between the 17 and the 28. Just mere inches apart out of that 4th corner. No help for Jordan Bain in the B-Water Ford. He's got no draft partner, and the 17 of Zach Meredith will take advantage into 1. Hunter Peach 2 seconds behind all of these cars. The pole sitter, sitting in the 4th position on the racetrack coming into this race. Hunter Peach running 4th in the points, only 3 digits behind J. Paul Arnold, currently running 6th. Peach climbing steadily up the points ladder, just needs a top 5 finish tonight, and headed into Dover, he should be in that top 3, provided Josh Arnold doesn't beat him to it. Tight fight between Cole Snyder and Jose Ruiz. These two battling for the 8th position. The 60 of Jeff No currently running 16th, 1 lap down. No with fresher tires starting the pit stop cycle. Ruiz and Snyder, the 23 and 24 respectively, really rim riding out there, trying to get as much speed as possible out of turn number 4. And now fight for that lead, fight for second, Jordan Bain and Zach Meredith side by side. The 17 Red Bull Chevrolet to the inside of that B-Water Ford F-150. Down the front straight, 74 laps complete. It'll be 36 to go next time by. Snyder looking to the inside of Ruiz. Can he pull it off? Ruiz on the high side, really up against that wall. He cannot get his trajectory wrong, running that close to the outside. Corey Blevins, half a second ahead of the 2nd and 3rd place battle, but he's run into lap traffic. That's the 66 of Jim Coey and the 37 of Jeff Lednum. Lednum in 13th. Coey running in the 17th position, 1 lap apart. Race leader briefly stuck in the middle. The Rico Chevrolet doing everything to get out of the way. There's the 99 of Blevins. To the inside of the 37 of Lednum. The 28 of Bain in that bright blue B-Water Ford. Now to the outside of car 66. Following right in the wake of that leader. Single file top 3 in the vacuum between the 2 lap cars. Look at Meredith trying to make it 3 wide with those 2 lap cars. Now Jordan Bain to the outside on the offensive. Drafting since turn number 3. Getting ahead full of steam into turn number 1. Can he make it stick out of 2? Bain looking to the inside of car 99 now. Jordan Bain edging out Blevins for this lead into turn number 3 for the first time today. Your new leader, points leader, Jordan Bain. "34 laps now remain in the Irish Hills. Jordan Bain, Corey Blevins, Zach Meredith. Your top 3. Meredith able to catch up after everybody had to go through that split of lap cars. Jose Ruiz and Cole Snyder have finally swapped spots. Snyder into 8th, Ruiz into 9th. Shad Swatsworth sitting just a couple of tenths behind Grandpa Coey. Let's ride around with Shad and see how he attacks Grandpa for the 17th position. Swatsworth in 18th, Coey in 17th. Jordan Bain still holds on to the lead with Corey Blevins in a tight 2nd spot. Just a quarter of a second remains. These drivers last pitting on lap 61, so we're about 12 laps away from what should be the final pit stop of tonight's race. Jordan Bain looking to get to the inside of car 18. That's Kurt Swatsworth in a very special Penn State livery. Case Swats currently running 21st right now, 5 laps down, but still giving the fighting spirit, and you've got to love that. The top 3 drivers working their way around that number 18 Chevrolet. 79 laps underway from Virtual Michigan. It'll be 31 to go next time by. Stan Carnathan on the tail end of the lead lap. He's 4/10 behind Brian Tiffany in that number 35 Blue Moon Ford. Then it's Josh Franks sitting in the 10th spot. That number 6 Chairs for Gaming Chevy Camaro, 6 seconds adrift of Jose Ruiz. And then it's Cole Snyder, who's 20 seconds behind Nate Lehman, currently running in the 7th spot. Lehman blinking ahead of the 19 of Jake Millsap. Millsap currently running 14th. Josh Arnold behind that 77 car of Matt Cochran. Cochran running in the 19th position, and Braden Holt, who is the next rival for Josh Arnold, 2.4 seconds ahead. He's holding down the top 5. It's a 4.7 second gap to Hunter Peach. Hunter Peach in 4th. He is almost 2 seconds behind Zach Meredith in 3rd. Meredith a half second behind Corey Blevins, and then Jordan Bain at the front of this race by a quarter of a second. Blevins now getting closer right before the pit stop cycle. It's Blevins looking to put in his fastest laps. Franks and Carnathan going at it now. Shad Swatsworth to the inside of Jim Coey. They just swapped spots for 17th. Brian Tiffany, 0.2 of a second ahead of Josh Franks. This is the battle for 10th. Jordan Bain extending his gap to 0.4 of a second. Corey Blevins, is he falling off the pace now? 81 laps complete. Duct Tape Fan 06 says, go Jake, great scheme tonight, bud. Number 19. Take one more look at that excellent number 19 paint scheme. The yellow Millsap graphics ride. Done a good job so far, Jake. Further up, Josh Franks trying to hold on to the 11th position. Stan Carnathan, is he just getting to his head? Carnathan trying to crack the top 10. Brian Tiffany is only a second ahead of these two. Braden Holt decides to come down pit lane, and that's going to start our pit stop cycles once again. Car 72 decides to bring the Valvoline Chevrolet in, and this should be the last pit stop of the race for many of these drivers. Now the gauntlet's been thrown down. When will Jordan Bain bring his ride down pit road? You better believe he's going to stretch it to the very last drop. Josh Franks on the outside of Stan Carnathan. There's the swap for 11th, and car 33 now makes it into that 11th spot. Brian Tiffany 1.7 seconds ahead in that number 35 Blue Moon Ford. Franks and Carnathan, there's contact there. Save it, Stan. Save it, Stan. And he does save it. Great move by Stan Carnathan to save that car. Beautifully done. Let's go back and see where that came from. This is on the backstretch now. Let's look into one. One more look at the hands on Carnathan. Byron Jones comes down pit road. He's going to give up 23rd. Carnathan looks like he was getting a little bit loose. Franks just really giving it all the wheel he could. He's brought his car down pit road. Jordan Bain remains the leader with 26 circuits remaining at Michigan. Corey Blevins half a second behind. Hunter Peach 0.4 adrift in that 3rd spot. Duct Tape Fan 06 says, nice scheme on the 22 tonight as well, talking about J. Paul Arnold in that box cave Ford. Hunter Peach bringing his Red Bull Supra down pit lane. This will be the last stop for the pole sitter tonight. Jordan Bain remains the leader, but now the question has to be asked. Bain is good to go to the end no matter when he stops. There is the 17 of Zach Meredith, who's just been put a lap down. This for the previous 2 pit stop cycles, Meredith has always come around to collect that lead, and it looks like this time he might just be earlier than Bain as he gets his lap back. That 17 car running in the 8th position, now on the lead lap with 24 laps remaining. He's going to have a substantial lead in this final stint, so Jordan Bain will have to use some pit stop trickery, or perhaps only 2 tires, to try and get some of that time back. Mike Allen on the bottom of your screen, indicated down pit road. He is the last driver in our cycle, what should be our final cycle. Brian Tiffany, slow out of that 4th corner, the 35 Blue Moon Ford coming down pit road. And here comes the leader. Jordan Bain's down, Corey Blevins down with him. Hopefully they slowed down to the appropriate speed, because a penalty at this stage would be just fatal. Nate Lehman, last pitting on lap 61, will take the lead. Cole Snyder, last pitting on lap 60, will inherit the 2nd position unless he plans to come down pit road this time by. And he does not, so Snyder will take that 2nd position. Jose Ruiz is the last driver who has not pitted, sitting in the 5th spot right now. He's going to move into 3rd temporarily. And then you've got Zach Meredith, who now comes out. There's Jordan Bain right there. There's Zach Meredith overtaking him. So Bain didn't lose as much time as we thought, and it's go time now for Meredith. His fastest lap, a 39.99, just 1/10 off of Jordan Bain, who ran a 38.84 with fresh tires and fuel. Expect to see some purple laps. That concludes our pit stop cycle, and it's now go time. You've got what you've got to the end of this race. And I lied, it doesn't conclude our pit stop cycle, because Nate Lehman, Cole Snyder, and Jose Ruiz all do need to come down pit road. But 22 laps remain at the Michigan Speedway. Nate Lehman leading but blinking, and hopefully that's not a sign of another server boot. Hopefully everybody does survive to the end of this race. Cole Snyder sitting in that 2nd position, gambling, praying for a caution now. What a way that would set up the finish of this 10th round of racing. There's Zach Meredith in the 3rd position. He's gotten around Jose Ruiz, who's yet to pit. Meredith 2.5 seconds behind Cole Snyder. And you can see the 24 up ahead in the distance. Shad Swatsworth, Jim Coey, Stan Carnathan, and Matt Cochran all down pit road. Rounding out your top 10 sits Jeff Noe in car number 60. We believe Noe's good to go all the way to the end. J. Paul Arnold sitting in 8th right now, inheriting that from Jose Ruiz, who came down pit road. The Box Cave Ford is 10 seconds behind Hunter Peach in the Red Bull Supra. Peach now to the inside of Braden Holt. He's got Corey Blevins just ahead. All of these drivers fighting for their top 5 spot. Blevins with a great head full of steam, now ahead of Peach. They're going to move into 4th, 5th, and 6th, respectively. Josh Arnold will move into 7th as Cole Snyder gives up all of those positions down pit road. Nate Lehman continues to lead, but the 14 is slow. Here comes race leader Nate Lehman down pit road. Zach Meredith will now come around to inherit that lead. He's only a half second ahead of Jordan Bain. You're looking at your potential leader in the number 17 Red Bull Ford. Bain is within half a second of Meredith. There's Bain now on the outside of Meredith. He's got Josh Franks just ahead in that number 6 car. Volsfan88 in the chat says Griff is getting so much better. Talking about Nate Lehman in that 14 car, currently running in 7th. Here you have the fight for the lead. 17 laps to go, this time by the 28 of Jordan Bain, now behind the 17 of Zach Meredith. Corey Blevins sits 8/10 behind him. Jeff No brings his number 64 down pit road. He'll give up 8th. Bain getting a great run from the 6 of Josh Franks. Will he make it 3 wide? Bain to the inside, and he will make it 3 wide indeed. The 28B Waterford with heroics to the inside line. 3 abreast through turn number 1. Who will come out the leader on the opposite side? Meredith pinching down the 28 of Bain there side by side down the back straight. There's the drag race for that lead. Franks up ahead in the 8th position, sitting on the tail end of the lead lap. Bain can't clear Meredith into the 3rd corner. Meredith on the high side now. There's Franks into the wall. Will it cause a crash? Everybody avoiding the 6th car. No is the answer. Jordan Bain coming away with that lead, clearing Zach Meredith down the front straight. Jeff No has had an incident. Jeff No's crashed, jumps to pit road immediately. We stay green. Meredith on the outside now, does not give up the fight. Blevins in the 99, almost to the back end of Meredith. Meredith looking to the inside now, trying a crossover out of turn number 2. Meredith with great momentum, trying to side draft off of Bain down the back straight. 15 laps to go this time by. Jordan Bain on the outside. He lets off and gives the 17 the inside lane. No crossover for Bain, but possibly just backing up the corner. Yes, to get a great run out of the 4th corner. 3 wide for the lead with Corey Blevins to the inside of Zach Meredith. Cole Snyder a lap down in the 24 trying to draft. Push that 17 further to the front. Jordan Bain in the 28 car, your new leader once again. Corey Blevins now to the inside of car 17. He's got 2nd. Meredith almost being pushed aside by the 24 of Cole Snyder. Jose Ruiz sitting just behind. Snyder and Ruiz having their own battle for 8th. Wonderful stuff. Great racing in these final laps. 14 laps to go at Michigan. Jordan Bain with a 3/10 of a second lead ahead of Corey Blevins. Zach Meredith in that 17 car, watching the 24 of Cole Snyder sitting in 8th get to the inside of Blevins in that 99. Snyder potentially fighting to get one of his laps back. He is the first car on, Snyder is the last car on the lead lap as he now gets around Jordan Bain. So that's going to make Jose Ruiz the wave around if we get a caution, but we've gone this far without a yellow. We'll see how far we get. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time around. Kurt Swatz just getting around Jeff No for the 19th position. Cole Snyder 6/10 of a second ahead of Jose Ruiz, now trapped behind the leaders. Look at Corey Blevins now. Blevins to the inside of Bain. This for the top spot with lucky number 13 laps remaining. Blevins to the inside. Will he clear Bain? Bain looking for the crossover out of 2. Positions his 28B Waterford just so. Can he get a spot to the inside now? Trying to draft off of Blevins into the 3rd corner. Here comes Bain. Side drafting off of that number 99. Keys Architects and Associates 4. It's a Ford-on-Ford battle for first. Zach Meredith sitting in 3rd ahead of 4th place Hunter Peach in the Red Bull Toyota. Lucky number 13 laps become a dozen circuits remaining. Jordan Bain holds on to that lead with 12 laps to go. Fewer than 24 miles in this 10th round of racing, and it's going to be 5 races remaining in the championship. Jordan Bain comes into this race with a 41-point lead ahead of Matthew Boone, who after the server boot tonight is being scored at 23rd out of this race. The running order: Bain, Blevins, Meredith, your top 3. It's 11 laps to go. Zach Meredith, 6/10 of a second adrift of Corey Blevins now. Hunter Peach running in the 4th spot. He is 2.2 seconds ahead of Braden Holt, but Holt is closing in a hurry. Hunter Peach, something's gone amiss with that Red Bull Supra. Holt is closing in big time, but it looks like Peach is back on the power. Blevins starting to stray further and further away from that bright blue light of Jordan Bayne in the 28. B. Water Ford. 20 miles remain, just 10 laps to go in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Points leader Jordan Bayne going for his 5th win in 10 starts this season. Quick maths tells you that it would be a 50% hit rate. And what a season it has been for Jordan Bayne. Meredith sitting in 3rd right now. Zach Meredith comes into this race 5th in the points standings. He finds himself, looks like 24 points behind Hunter Peach. Peach sitting in 4th, 1 position behind him, so Meredith trying to claw some of that gap back. You've got Braden Holt running in the 5th position. That number 72 Valvoline Chevrolet comes into this race 16th in points, running a part-time schedule with 1 win this season. He's only 24 points behind Josh Franks, who's 15th in that points table. And Holt, he's looking to make some places up as well. Great top 5 run for him. 9/10 of a second is the gap from Jordan Bayne back to Corey Blevins, and it's the same gap from Corey Blevins back to Zach Meredith running in the 3rd position. There, that gray dot is the number 17 Red Bull Chevrolet. Hunter Peach 5 seconds back of Meredith. There's that 26 Red Bull Supra. Nate Lehman to the inside of Grandpa Coey. He's only 6/10 behind J. Paul Arnold in the 6th position. Over the last 5 laps, Nate Lehman has been slowly closing in to Josh Arnold. You can see that last time around he was quicker by more than 2/10. And then Cole Snyder, who's 23 seconds behind him. There's the gap to Snyder. But there you can see the 22 just ahead of car 14. And let's ride along with Nate Lehman as he chases down Josh Arnold for 6th. Nate Lehman still driving around behind Grandpa Coey. Josh Arnold 5/10 ahead, but the gap slowly shrinking. Corey Blevins' gap to Zach Meredith has shrunk down to 6/10 of a second now. Meredith in that 17 Red Bull Chevy wants some redemption. A silver medal looks on the horizon with 5 laps to go at the 2-mile Michigan Oval. Bayne, Blevins, Meredith, your top 3, Ford, Chevrolet. Reminder to the fans watching at home, following tonight's race, we're going to have podium interviews, so don't go anywhere. Jordan Bayne leading, Corey Blevins 2nd, Zach Meredith in 3rd, 4 to go this time by. Nate Lehman right behind Josh Arnold now. This is the fight for the 6th position. Lehman still blinking a bit. Josh Arnold holding steady, but the gap still closes. Lehman still stuck behind Coey, but will Grandpa Coey offer any sort of drafting assistance? It'll be 3 to go this time by. Lehman right up against, or no, that's Coey that's right up against that wall. There's Josh Arnold. He can see Lehman behind him in the distance. There's Jordan Bayne about to come to 3 laps to go. He's got almost a 1.5 second gap to Corey Blevins. 7/10 remains the gap between Blevins and Meredith, who possibly has some pushing help from Jose Ruiz in car 2-3. Braden Holt, 0.8 of a second behind Hunter Peach in that 2-6 car. Nate Lehman is there. He can draft off of the 22 of J-Paw Arnold. This is going to be a great fight, but will Lehman's internet issues last through the remainder of this race? It'll be 2 to go next time by for Jordan Bayne. Coming into turn number 3, and what a successful race it's been for Jordan Bayne. What a successful season it's been for Jordan Bayne. If he can hold on for another 4 miles, it will be his 5th win this season, and his points lead will extend by a large margin headed into next week at Dover. Nate Lehman running in that 7th spot, just really pushing that car. How far will this Care Bear Ford go? Can he really get behind Arnold and stay there? Riding along now with Josh Arnold. There's Lehman right there in the distance. Lehman can taste it. 0.3 the gap. Jordan Bayne collects the white flag. He's got a 1.8 second lead ahead of Corey Blevins, who's 0.4 of a second ahead of on the top 3 now, on the podium now with our top 3, starting with driver of that number 17 Red Bull Chevy, Zach Meredith. Bronze medal tonight. You led so many laps. Did you have anything for the 99 of the 28?
Not on the very, very long run. Had it for the medium and short run, but not the very, very long run. They beat me in that department.
Next week at Dover, man, can you get another podium? It's been a great season so far.
We'll see. It's the Monster Mile, so we'll just see what happens.
You head into Dover, 7 points behind Matt Boone in 4th. We'll see you in a week's time. Congratulations on 3rd.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Corey Blevins in the Keys Architects and Associates Ford comes home in the 2nd position. Corey, so close to a win, man, but a great run despite the fact you're only running a part-time season.
Yeah, actually, only part-time season, but these guys are pretty good, so and may join a couple more down the line. Dover, I'll be there next week.
It'll be my pleasure to see you at Dover next week. Do you think you can get the win against 5-time winner Jordan Bain?
We'll see.
He's got a way higher I rating than me, but seems like I may have gave him a little run for his money, so we'll see.
We'll find out soon enough.